Hi, this is Jordan. This month's XDA Developer TV is brought to you by the Samsung Smart App Challenge 2012. Enter for your chance to win your piece of over $4 million in cash prizes by clicking the banner at the top of xdadevelopers.com or by visiting developer.samsung.com. It's Monday, July 9, 2012, and let's go ahead and talk about what happened this weekend at xdadevelopers.com. First and foremost, some excellent news, some exciting news coming out of CyanogenMod. XDA senior member Eggy Drums brought to our attention, although I did also see it on Google+, the fact that while the team has not started working on CyanogenMod 10, which is going to be based on Jelly Bean, they are considering the changes that will be required for it, and they are planning to start working on it as soon as the source code is available. And while that may not be as exciting as actually having a release or something built around the SDK, it is nice to know that there will be a team working around it, that CyanogenMod, which is a huge mod, a huge ROM, will actually be coming for Jelly Bean and will be supporting lots and lots of devices. In some other news, one of the devices that was announced at Google I/O this year that I haven't really talked much at all about is the Nexus Q. And even though it doesn't fit in with the traditional Android device methodology, the XDA people are not going to discriminate, and therefore we had a bunch of tutorials come out this weekend on how to unlock the device, root the device, as well as installing and running new applications on it. And that was thanks to XDA forum members 5iPads, FredC888, and Shoduta92. So if you do have the Nexus Q somehow, I guess if you were a Google I/O attendee, or if you are interested in picking up the Nexus Q, go ahead and take a look at these threads these guys have created to get some information on what you can and can't do with the device. And sticking in that vein of Google I/O yet again, the Nexus 7 is well on its way to being released as well. And thanks again to an XDA forum member, you will not have to wait to root the device once you do get it in your hands. XDA forum member Faded Light created a tutorial thread on how to root the device, so if you do have it already, or if you are about to get it, or anything like that, and you are interested in rooting it, you can go ahead and do so. Now, in addition to being rooted, there's also a custom ROM and a custom kernel, and all of these things to really get you started and get you going very quickly. Well, even more than that, XDA Elite recognized developer and XDA TV producer Adam Outler went ahead and created the Nexus 7 hack pack for you. And that's filled up with loads of binaries and reference materials and all sorts of things to help you grow and develop on it. So basically the Nexus 7 seems to be shaping up into the development device, the real customizable, hackable, rootable device that you will want to have if you have a 7-inch tablet, or if you want a 7-inch tablet. And actually, speaking of developing and then growing as a developer and being more of a part of the XDA developer site, XDA senior member The Wade Geek has created a thread giving you step-by-step instructions and a tutorial all about how to compile custom kernels from source. It is a little bit complicated, and it does require that you use Ubuntu to follow his tutorial. But if you ever have been interested in developing kernels or in just adding custom things to the kernel to make it work on your device or to work on other devices, this may be a good place for you to start. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is actually two stories that I'm going to kind of combine into one. As you may or may not know, because I don't think I've actually mentioned it, I pre-ordered the Samsung Galaxy Nexus from Verizon a couple of weeks ago. I found out just yesterday that my device has shipped, and then of course right after I find out my device has shipped, a story comes out on the XDA site talking about how the Verizon Galaxy S III is the only Galaxy S3, in fact the only Samsung device that Samsung has released in a very long time, that is locked down with some sort of a security check. They found this out, of course, by trying to flash an insecure kernel to it, trying to root it, trying to do ROMs and whatever else to it to open the device up. However, don't table flip just yet, because I honestly was about to do so myself. I was about to call Verizon and cancel my order and give them the finger. Thanks to XDA senior member Invisible K, he found a way to work around it. Although it's not just him, there's a bunch of people that have been involved in this, including the guys from Team Epic. And it actually seems to follow some of the same steps as all of the other US variants. It just takes a lot longer, and I think it took a slightly different image to make it work. So if you do have the Verizon version and you're interested in rooting, be prepared. It is going to take at least 10 to 15 minutes to complete this root, and you have to flash a custom recovery to it. Also, you do have to have a Windows machine, so in my case I'm going to have to do this on Windows. But one way or another, I do have to thoroughly applaud the community for coming together. I will say one part of the community did go in a different direction. They created a petition, they went to Verizon with it, and they're going to sort of give them the finger and say, look, give us devices that are unlocked, because you know that it is Verizon that said, you will lock this device down. But the other part of the community just said, you know what, lock it down if you want to, we're just going to go ahead and slip in there behind the back door. And I will say, I'm definitely not pleased with that. I honestly, like I said, considered canceling my order and just finding a Galaxy Nexus on eBay or something. figure that I will go with a slightly older device that is still an amazing device and very capable of running Jelly Bean. But there's just something about having that slightly larger screen and all of the little Samsung goodies that I may probably never use that we'll just go ahead and give it a shot. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. Sorry it's kind of a short video. I had a long weekend here working with the family. And I'm sure some of you probably noticed this little device sitting over here beside me on the desk. That is my Raspberry Pi, and as you can probably see there, this is my IRC client that's running within a screen session and an SSH server. It's all running from the Pi, which is amazing to me. Basically, this took what was an Intel Atom server, and I can just turn it off now because I've got this little teeny tiny thing running off of an SD card. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing some tutorials and some work with this on my channel. Of course, if you haven't taken a look at my channel link will be down in the video description. But like I said, that is all that I have for you today. If you did like this video, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe up above if you would like to receive our content as soon as it's available. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in a few days.